They're sitting not too far out of the relegation zone themselves, and depending on Villarreal's result in the match shortly to be concluded at Sevilla, they could actually be only out of the bottom three, Rayo, on goal difference. Here's Aranda for Zaragoza. Made room for the cross really well, excellent ball in, and the header's wide.
Well, by getting towards the byline, you can see there with Aranda, he's got power and pace. Gets himself around the backhand side of Pulido. Good cross towards the far post, and Helder Postiga will be looking to hit the target. There you can see Aranda up against Pulido, shows to go one way, then heads towards the byline. Good cross towards the far post, and you'd be expecting Helder Postiga to hit the back of the net, but it's just agonisingly wide.
Here's Movia. This is the Serbian, Obradovic, playing at left back. Rather frozen out in the time when the Mexican Javier Aguirre was the head coach here, the man taking the throw, but has been recalled in recent matches by Manolo Jimenez, who's got the job of trying to keep Zaragoza in the Primera Division. Huge task on his hands. Long ball seeks out Aranda, the most convincing of headers from Pulido. Obradovic. Snap.
From Zaragoza, you see Obradovic playing a nice neat little ball into the path of Helder Postiga. On a slight angle, here's this little wide for Zaragoza. Certainly very positive start for Zaragoza, Kevin.
So important when the crowd have been on their backs. They're currently on a run of 13 league games without a win, 15 without a victory if you factor in the 2 games in the Copa del Rey against second division Alcorcon, who put Zaragoza out of the competition. Only 2 wins all season for La Liga's bottom club, both of them here.
You said in that period of time, but they've conceded 26 since their last victory.
Ponyo was wanting a free kick there, offload the pass. The referee tonight, Estrada Fernandez. Game in La Liga, he played twice for Atletico Madrid. He had played for the Atletico side in the Copa del Rey against Albacete this season. Sandoval, the coach of Rayo. As is Emiliano Armenteros, the Argentine brought in from Sevilla.
Well, they'll certainly know all about Armenteros. He was on loan at Rayo last year, scored an awful amount of goals during their campaign when they got promoted. And we know with Diego Costa as well, if you can keep him fit, he'll score goals for you.
Offside against Aranda. News will be filtering through to the locals here that Villarreal have won 2-1 at Sevilla. Huge win for the team from El Madrigal, who lift themselves in the process out of the bottom three. And above, Granada, Racing Santander and Rayo. So it's Granada on goal difference who drop into the relegation zone. They don't play until Monday, incidentally, against Malaga. Game you can see online via Sky Sports Extra. This is the Italian, Lanzaro. Lanzaro, normally a centre-back. Paredes, who's playing alongside the Paraguayan international Paulo da Silva, normally a left-back. So, suggestion that Jimenez is getting rather desperate in his selection. Possibility of square pegs in round holes, we'll see. Stiga able to gather in the pass.
What you can see straight away, Kevin, with the situation where Zaragoza are playing a little bit of a diamond, that it's allowing the two fullbacks, especially Obradovic on that left-hand side, to put himself in prevalent positions. But I'm a little surprised it's only his fourth start in the 3 years that he's been here. So certainly been out of favour for quite some time, and Jimenez has decided that this is an opportunity to give the player a chance to go and create something different down that left.
Out of play, there'll be a throw here to the home side. Zaragoza. Portuguese international Ruben Miquel takes it. We'll know the Atletico Madrid players and the Rayo side because he himself is on loan from Atletico to Zaragoza this season. Ruben Miquel played a part in Portugal's run to the European Championship finals. When you look around this Zaragoza side, there are full internationals there. Cesar da Silva for Paraguay, Miquel and Postiga, current Portuguese internationals. Luis Garcia in their ranks, very experienced, top-level player here in Spain. Just haven't gelled at all since the first kick of the season. Facing a Rayo Vallecano corner here. Free header in there. They don't make the best use of it. It was Arribas who got free.
Well, it's a decent corner from that right-hand side, and you can see that Arribas makes a decent run. Not really being picked up, and the first real opportunity goes to Rayo. But you're right in what you're saying, Kevin. You look at the Zaragoza lineup, and there's a wealth of experience there, but also when you look on the bench as well, there's players there with a lot of experience. Leo Franco, the goalkeeper, who's been around a bit. And then Lafita and Zuccolini, who's only a young lad, but he's certainly been around. He's on loan from Catania, is it?
Here's Tito. Skips around the challenge of Afonso. This is Movilla. Arribas. Pulido. Javi Fuego. Casado. Madrid-based clubs feasting themselves in this La Liga season. First time ever La Liga's had 4 clubs in the capital playing in the top division at the same time. First time these two have been together in the Primera Division for a decade. This is Lanzaro. Da Silva. A little spell in England with Sunderland, Paulo da Silva. Just to have collected that with his arm, Helder Postiga. The 22, had a spell in England. Only just short of his 21st birthday when he went to Tottenham. Only had the one season at White Hart Lane.
Well, when you look at those two players, De Silva and Helder Postiga, they didn't really do themselves any justice in the Premiership. We know with Helder Postiga went for an awful lot of money, I think €9 million, which could have gone up to 12 with the appearances and any sort of silverware, but he only lasted the one season, played 19 games and scored 2 goals, and only one in the Premiership.
Casado. Slight deflection, made it touch awkward. Comfortable take in the end for Roberto, who saved a penalty from a result that would suit neither, and in particular the team in white, Zaragoza. This is a must-win game for them. Aranda. Luis Garcia with a corner. Zaro in there again, having won the initial header. And Rayo Vallecano happy to see or hear the referee's whistle in their favour.
Well, you're quite right in respect of Lanzaro winning that header at the far post, but when that ball was against the runner play as such, but a little bit of a late shout from Helder Postiga. But you look around Romareda this evening, Kevin, it holds over 34,000 spectators, and I bet it's only half full. But that's what happens with success. You get success, this will be full to the brim. But as it is now, you can see it's only half full, if that.
Well, it was only 8 years ago Zaragoza were winning the cup. Probably seems to a lot of their didn't defend Zaragoza the last Rayo Vallecano corner very well, allowed Arribas to get far too much space. Let's look at the crowd scene in that 6-yard area. Waved by the fists of Roberto. Driven in by Casado, deflects into the path here. Feels for handball. It's Trashoras who got on to the spinning ball, and Zaragoza are not happy. Aranda's talked himself into a yellow card. I think they thought it was handball against Roberto Trashoras.
But the referee was no more than 5 yards away from Trashoras, so there was no real complaint.
The corner. Quite what Ponyo intended. Just come into the Zaragoza ranks, sideline.
Well, I thought he got it absolutely spot on. And those sort of incidents there can cost people a red card or a second yellow card, because Aranda really should not get himself involved in that situation. It's the most they were going to get.
Michel able to get to it. This is Movia. Casado. Cut out easily by Obradovic. Casado again. Pulido. Trashoras. Nicely weighted pass. Awkward clearance. Just got enough on that. Obradovic, the left back. Given the run that they're on, but one or two nervy touches, possession given away cheaply.
Well, you can see a free kick from Manzaro on Movia, but I thought when that ball came into the penalty box, Obradovic went with his... that ball away with your right-hand side. So it tells me that if I was a right-sided player, I'd be looking to try and get inside of him.
Trashoras for the free kick. Roberto really getting in the way of his own teammate there. A little bit of a lack of understanding. Luis Garcia with a problem. Came from Espanyol in the close season. Referee Estrada Fernandez having a word with Manolo Jimenez, the coach of Zaragoza. Tito. Movia. Jimenez, coach of Zaragoza, says he and his players are desperate to relieve the anxiety surrounding La Romareda. They'll only do that with a win tonight. They've almost got to put together between now and the end of the season European form, like a top 6 finish, that kind of run is going to be required to get themselves out of trouble. That's the predicament they're in.
And the thing is as well, Kevin, is that there's no easy game in La Liga anymore, especially when you're down the bottom end. You've got big fixtures coming up. You've got Espanyol away, Betis at home, Malaga away, Villarreal at home. They don't come easy anymore. Hermano! Person that we've not mentioned so far in the opening 20 minutes is Michu from Rayo. He's done. He came as a free transfer from Celta Vigo last year, scored 6 goals in Segunda, and he's already surpassed that. I know there's a lot of clubs looking at the young man, and certainly when you see him, he's certainly very noticeable. 6'3½", likes to play behind the main striker, and leaves it very late to get himself into the box, and has done so well in La Liga so far this year.
Good age as well, Michu, for clubs interested in his services, 25. Certainly been the standout player so far this season for Rayo Vallecano. Here he is, Michu, back to Casado. Manzaro, challenge on Casado. Rayo quickly about the free kick. Dumovic. Aponio. Now Aranda. Manzaro. Movia. Tito. Nicely controlled by Dumovic. Another of the Zaragoza players who's come in on loan last month. He came in from Dinamo Moscow. He's a Croatian international. On the ball again here. Step forward by Paredes. Header on's a good one. Aranda held up initially by Arribas, who's done well at the second time of asking. It's good defending. Trashoras. Caught there by injured in that challenge, Roberto Trashoras.
Yeah, they won't want to lose him so early in the game. You know, they like to take set pieces, can deliver a decent ball as well whilst on the move, but on the bench they've got somebody very able as well in PT, who's a little bit surprised me this evening. Again, he's a very good technical ability. You can see Trashoras doing really well up against Mikhail. Zaragoza midfielder has just clipped his ankle bone, but I'm sure by the time he gets off the field he'll just have a little bit of the ice cold spray and he'll be back onto the field to play.
Well, like Michu, top scorer for Rayo, Trashoras came in last summer on a free from Celta Vigo. Started his career at Barcelona. Roberto Trashoras did play for the first team, made his debut 11 years ago under Carlos Reixac. Also was on the books of Real Madrid for a while, Trashoras, so he's one of those few players that played for both, but only a B-team player at the Bernabeu. Casado with the throw here for Rayo. Poor attempt at the clearance from Luis Garcia. This is Casado, good crossing position. Gets the ball in as well. It was met by the head of Paredes.
That's an excellent ball from Casado. You saw straight away Trashoras was back onto the field of play. Good link-up play between him and Casado, and he plays that ball in. The question I have to ask is, why didn't Michu make any sort of movement towards the ball? He allowed Rayo to do it. Rayo's only a little lad, he's only 5'5", and you've got Michu, 6'3½". He was very static when that ball was coming in from that left-hand side.
Surprising, given his recent good form in front of goal. Michu with 6 goals in the last 7 games. This is Trashoras again. Having just hobbled back on a moment or two ago after his earlier injury. Maybe struggling to shake that off. It's certainly the picture. Armenteros, currently on loan from Sevilla. Not that long back from a broken foot, Emilio Armenteros. It was that little turn that just tested that injury for Trashoras, and he felt it straight away. That's his evening at an end.
Well, it's a shame really that Trashoris is coming off the field of play, but certainly got an able player to go and replace him in Armenteros. He knows about the system and the ethos of Rayo Vallecano. I was saying earlier that he spent a year there on loan last year, scored 20 goals in their promotional year. Certainly very instrumental. Hasn't really knocked any walls down since he's come back to Sevilla. And I'm sure that he'd be delighted to be back at Rayo.
He actually played Armenteros against Zaragoza back in November. He was in the Sevilla side that won 1-0. Michel with a corner here for Rayo. Formerly out by Aranda. Gets another touch here. That's a mistake by Paredes. Michel. Rayo with the ball in, looking for Michu. Did well to shield that away from Toledo. Will be a throw for Zaragoza. Nice touch from Aranda. Cross, a good one. Luis Garcia just, oh, they got caught underneath that. He's claiming a corner, but goal kick given.
Well, Obradovic does well on that left-hand side. You'd expect him to come in on his left foot, but as it was, just a nice little ball, just goes round the outside of Mavir, tries to play that ball back towards the far post, just slightly overhit. Good back heel from Aranda to start off with, and there's that little clip towards the far post. Unfortunately, Luis Garcia has come in just moments too early.
Javi Fuego. Casado. Almost got through there for Armenteros. Either Lanzaro or Da Silva took control of that situation.
We've just seen in the last couple of moments, Kevin, that both the centre halves making mistakes. Unfortunately for both of them, they've got away with it.
Casado. Another good cross from the left back. Better defending this time by Paulo da Silva.
Well, it's certainly an area where Manolo Jimenez is going to have to look at, because he's playing that diamond in that midfield area. They're playing far too narrow, and that's why, especially on this left-hand side, Casado has had so much time and space just to move into. And I think the person on the right-hand side of the diamond has got to move across a lot quicker. We know all about systems, and systems are there to be broken down. And this is the real area where Rayo Vallecano can go and get a little bit more joy and freedom. It's down the flank situations. But I'm sure that's certainly an area at half-time where the manager has to go and really readjust his players.
Half an hour gone. Not too much by way of either goalkeeper being troubled, but Rayo Vallecano having the better of it territorially. Away by Aponio.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot of pushing going on there with Lanzaro just manhandling Arribas. You see that Arribas is on the floor looking up to Lanzaro as if to say, you know, what are you doing? And I think he's very fortunate, Lanzaro, that he didn't give away a penalty for that instant. But you find time and time Kevin, a lot of referees are reluctant to do anything in that penalty area. Just one day there'll be a referee who'll go and give 3 or 4 penalties. Maybe not.
No, don't hold your breath. There's Casado. And he's lost out here. He's going to need a good intervention from Pulido. He's wide awake there, the young centre-back.
Yeah, did very well, didn't he, the young lad, but left-back Casado, he shouldn't be really taking those chances.
Here comes a volley! Oh, what a goal from Postiga! Helder Postiga rolling back the years there, the Portuguese international. A magnificent strike gives bottom of the table Zaragoza 1-0 lead.
Well, that's a sensational strike from Helder Postiga. We know that he's got the ability, but sometimes doesn't always prove it. When that ball comes in from that right-hand side, you have to say it's a magnificent strike. He's going back away from goal, has a stretch towards the penalty spot, and the goalkeeper, Joel, has no chance whatsoever. Great ball in from Aponio, but give credit where credit's due. Helder Postiga with his 5th La Liga goal of the season. It's a phenomenal strike, and now you can hear the crowd at La Romareda change. Before they were starting to get on their players, now they're going to be behind them. What a great strike that was from Postiga.
Timely, it's his first in 11 games. What a beauty. Well, you look at his record at international level, 19 goals in 46 caps for Portugal. It's not as if his international career has died away either. He played a role in getting them to the European Championship finals this coming summer in Poland and Ukraine. Zaragoza will be hoping that it'll be the first of a few in the month or so to come to seek to close the gap on the teams above them. Currently 7 points behind second from bottom Sporting Gijón at kick-off time, and a full 10 points from being out of the bottom 3. Here's Movia. Tito. Movia. Back with the full-back again here, Tito. Javi Fuego. Dumovic. Luis Garcia. Aranda. Will be a booking for Pulido. The referee's actually shown 2 yellow cards. I think he's shown one to Luis Garcia and also one to Pulido. So it's a booking apiece there.
Well, that's a naive challenge from the young man who's on loan from Atletico Madrid. You see there with Aranda has used his wealth of experience to see where the young lad is and just nip that ball around the corner. But again, the question marks I have to ask is, why has Pulido had to go and vacate his centre-half position to go and cover in the left-back area? He's really got to hold his ground. Poor decision from the young man, but good experience from Aranda.
Luis Garcia with a free kick. Into a good area. No Zaragoza shirt attacking it. Garcia will try again. Wealth of experience, Luis Garcia. Began his career at Real Madrid, but really came to prominence with an excellent strike partnership he had at Espanyol with Raul Tamudo. who, but for a broken arm, would have been on the opposite side tonight. Temudo broke that arm last week against Athletic Bilbao, out for a couple of months. More pressure on Michu then to continue his good goal-scoring streak for Rayo Vallecano.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a strange one. We know that with Espanyol they are a selling club, but to get rid of an influential player like Luis Garcia, and only for €1 million as well, Kevin, I think that was a bit of a steal. But the importance now is that he's got to try and make sure that he keeps his club up this season, and it's going to be a very, very hard task.
Lanzaro.
I was just thinking, sorry, Kevin, I was just thinking about that strike from Helder Postiga. It's a sensational strike, you know, the more you think about it, and I'm sure there won't be many more goals that he scored during his career better than that, especially with the technique going away from the ball. I'm sure the boys in the studio at half-time will certainly be reminiscent about that one.
Here in Bravely. The free kick has gone against Real Zaragoza. Movilla, Tito. Dumovic. Tussle here with Rayo. Starting a La Liga game for the first time tonight, by the way. The 24-year-old Rayo come off the bench in 6 of the last 7 games, but gets his opportunity in the absence of Temudo. There's a heavy challenge there. Is the captain of Zaragoza. Certainly felt the attentions there of Michu. He's barely moved since the collision, the Zaragoza captain.
Well, I was watching Michu when he was going to close down Paredes, and I don't think he was watching the ball at all, Kevin. He's just looking at the player, and he makes a big contact with Paredes. And I think you can say with Michu, he's quite fortunate, because some referees will take that as being there with intent to hurt another player. And I think Paredes is very fortunate that he's just going to go off the field of play for moments, and I'm sure he'll be back on. But as a player, you can't do that. You've got to watch the ball. But he had no eyes on the ball whatsoever.
Booking for Michu takes the number of yellow cards in this first half up to 4, 2 for either side. Aponio. Yet another stoppage. Monteros protesting his innocence. And Aponio arguing over the merits of the decision. Quickly made by referee Estrada Fernandez.
Well, there's no doubt that was a free kick. You can see there with Armenteros, just takes away the left ankle of Aponio. And once again, the referee's got it absolutely spot on.
Luis Garcia can expect to have somebody attacking his latest free kick. The last one from just about this same blade of grass. Nobody really showed adventure to get on the end of. It was a good delivery. Let's see what he has up his sleeve this time. It's not so good. Easily away by Michu.
I was just looking at the positioning of the goalkeeper there, Kevin, and thinking, if you'd have taken another couple of strides back, Luis Garcia, that might have been an opportunity to try and bend that ball around the wall with a lot of pace. Because you could see there with Joel that he was far over to his right-hand side.
More La Liga football for you later. On HD1, Atletico Madrid against Valencia. Should be a cracking game. Vicente Calderon. Sky Sports Extra for Granada Malaga. That's our online offering for you on Monday. Corner here for Rayo Vallecano, which will be taken by Michel. Flicks off the head of Aranda. Toledo will try and keep it alive for Rayo. It's a little bit stronger there than Aponio. Back with Morvilla. Needed defending by Obradovic. Good enough, but it's another corner.
Yeah, he defends that really well, Obradovic. You can just look over his shoulder, and there was Michel. But the one person that they're going to have to try and miss is Aranda, because he's doing an excellent job on the point, on the near post hole. He's got to try and get that ball just over the big striker's head.
Does that, Michel. Arribas met it. Always leaning backwards, couldn't control his header.
Well, once again, it was Arribas and Lanzaro up against each other. This is the great strike from Helder Postiga. It's an excellent ball in from Aponio, but you see that he's still got an awful amount of work to do.
It's amazing, David, when you consider his body position, just how much power he generated in that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was actually stretching back towards the penalty spot, going away from goal, and the way that he's able to just wrap his foot around it, but also the technique of keeping that ball low, Kevin. And that's what I think is an amazing strike. And Joel, who is 6'5", did not have an earthly of a chance.
The timing was outstanding from Postiga in every sense. Bottom of the table, Zaragoza, one up, having won only 2 of their 20 league games so far this season. Aponio, offside, Aranda. Free kick quickly taken by Morvilla. Lanzaro. Postiga going to run out of room. Dumovic, too much of that to Morvilla. Michel, Armenteros. Oh, what a disappointing finish from a very advantageous position.
Well, it certainly was. It was a decent ball from Michel into the path of Armenteros. And there you can see Lanzaro is all out of sorts. But that's the time we talk with strikers and the strikers union, that they've got to go across the goalkeeper. And I'm sure that Jerry will mention that at half-time. That is what you have to do. We know sometimes they will go into that near post, which is called the fast side. But sometimes you've got to go across that goalkeeper and hope that either A, it nestles into the back of the net, or the goalkeeper gets a touch and parries out to a forward coming in.
Here come Rayo again. Michel. Casado. He's got a great crossing position here. His deliveries have been good up to now. That one just a little short, made it easy for Da Silva. Almost had the 2 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half. It's been energetic. And the first half illuminated by that sensational goal from Postiga. Aranda. Can't get beyond Arribas. Well, the job only half done for Real Zaragoza, but the dark clouds that have been gathering over La Romareda at least parted somewhat with an outstanding goal from Helder Postiga. A half-time, it's real. There's hope here in the second half for Rayo. Certainly got a threat up there now, David.
Well, it certainly will be when you look at De Silva and Paredes. They won't be particularly happy to see the likes of Diego Costa coming onto the field of play. Raiko had an opportunity to go and impress the manager. Certainly didn't, and that's why he's been brought off at half-time. He certainly hasn't picked up an injury. Thought that we were discussing this at half-time, Kevin, weren't we, about the situation with Diego Costa, whether or not he might give him another 10 or 15 minutes before bringing on the Brazilian, but they haven't got a lot of time. They've still got 45 minutes left. They're only one goal behind, and as we're saying, they've not really had a shot on earnest at the Zaragoza goal, and Sandoval has to make a change, and the change has been made. But I just hope that they're able to go and put Armenteros up a little bit further on, and Michu as well, to go and support a lot earlier than what they have been doing, especially in that first half.
Here's Aranda. Crowd wanted a free kick. No great claim from the players down there in white for Zaragoza. Lafita, first involvement for the Zaragoza substitute. Well, that is the official whistle from our referee tonight, Estrada Fernandez. I don't know whether it's coming across to you, but certainly coming across to us that there's a phantom whistle in the crowd, which is quite disconcerting. It appears the players are managing with it okay. It was noticeable 5 or 6 times in the first half. A loud, shrill whistle, which wasn't that of the referees. Now, Luis Garcia, the free kick. Good position here for the home side, who lead through that wonderful volley from Helder Postiga in the 33rd minute.
I just wonder whether it's going to be Arribas and Lanzaro who it is the two centre-halves who he's pulling together, or the right back from Zaragoza who can play at centre-half. You see that they have been eagerly contesting any sort of free kicks that have been coming in, or any set pieces.
In by Garcia. Well defended by Javi Fuego.
I'm just wondering who's going to be coming off in a moment, Kevin, because all the substitute being warmed up. So obviously somebody's picked up an injury just before half-time and is not able to shake it off. He's gone and put his tracksuit top back on again.
Quite sure what Aponio thought was going to happen there. Found himself squeezed out at big spending Malaga this season. Paredes eventually back here with Roberto.
Well, you can see straight away the sort of impact that Diego Costa is going to cause for the two centre-halves. That ball was in the air for quite some time, and eventually De Silva coped with it, but certainly going to be a key area for Rayo Vallecano in the second half is to get that ball up to Diego Costa as quickly as possible.
Dumovic having his pocket picked there by Arribas. Javi Fuego. Pulido took a risk there. Dumovic. Postiga stayed on, hasn't stayed on side. Tried to bend his run, wanted the pass a little quicker.
Yeah, but sometimes it infuriates me with the assistant. Why don't you just put that flag up straight away? Say it's Postiga making a run, but once again you see with Pulido just trying to be a little bit too cute. There's Postiga, he's trying to arc his run back onto an onside position, but there we go, another situation with Mavia trying to be a little bit too smart. Not the sort of areas where you have to try and be a little bit too cute.
Movia. Tito showing good pace to niggle back at Lafita. Rayo Vallecano have done well away from home this season. Only the top three and Athletic Bilbao have a better record on the road. They've picked up more points away from home than at home. Picked up 3 wins, 12 points. Their wins have come at Getafe, Betis and Granada. Normally, clubs coming up from the second division have to rely heavily on home results to maintain their status. Facial injury here for Lanzaro. Teammate showing a bit of concern.
It certainly is, and the referee was quick to assess the situation. There you can see it's just a little bit of a facial injury as Lanzaro was going onto the back of Armenteros. Straight onto the front of his mouth. I'm sure that's very, very sore. Just wonder whether he's lost any teething issues there.
Well, it was a genuine challenge between the two, both firmly with eyes on the ball. Don't know whether Lanzaro will see it quite that way. He's a player that can operate on a bit of a short fuse, the Italian.
I'm sure it's a situation with some of these players. If they see blood, they'll certainly milk it a little bit more, but have a look. No, there's no blood. Right, I'll get back onto the field of play.
Just keep an eye out for Lanzaro's next challenge on Armenteros. Arribas. Movia. Paredes decided against going back to Roberto. Out of play via Rayo Vallecano captain Michel. A real veteran now at 36. Spent most of his career playing in the lower divisions, although he made his La Liga debut way back in 1993 at the age of 18. Armenteros. There's Lanzaro's challenge. Told you it was coming.
Yeah, but the question I have to ask you, Kevin, what did Armenteros have to do with that challenge just moments ago with Lanzaro? Didn't like it, obviously. The big Italian. There you see a little bit of blood going on, but there we are. You're talking about the short fuse.
But we know the player.
Yeah, we know the player, but he's got to sometimes relax himself a little bit more.
I agree with you. Well, I never thought it would happen.
But he's already seen red a couple of occasions this year, hasn't he?
Yeah. It's a cheap free kick, really. 10 minutes into the second half. Michel to gun it in. Nice touch off Movia. long career he's had. Many years as a La Liga player, Jose Movilla.
But you can see there, he's certainly not lost that little bit of pace that he had, triggering off Lafita.
37 in 3 days' time. You wouldn't know it.
Oops, careful.
You can't do that. Clearly an arm raise there by Javi Fuego. Costa was involved as well.
I think it was Diego Costa who initially pushed the Zaragoza player down, and I'm sure the assistant on the near touchline will be having words with the referee. Yeah, there's a yellow card. I think he's quite fortunate, Kevin. Paredes picks up a yellow card as well. I'm not sure what he's got to do about it, because it was all about Diego Costa.
But another referee on another night could have interpreted that in a different manner to Estrada Fernandez and shown a red card to Diego Costa. Clear raise of the arm.
Well, you can see there the two players are getting very tight to each other. Paredes has a little kick between the legs of Diego Costa for the ball, and that's the reaction from the Brazilian. Can't be doing that. And I think he's got to be very fortunate that Estrada Fernandez is feeling a little bit sorry for him, since he's only come on 12 minutes earlier, but certainly could have cost his side a red card and possibly the match by getting sent off.
Javi Fuego. Lovely control by Costa. Good looking cross, met by Obradovic. Michel. Header in by Tito, away by Paredes. Tito again. Rayo Vallecano had a corner count in the first half, 7-1 in their favour. Plenty of the ball in the Zaragoza half, but very little with it in the final third. Coming under pressure here, but there'll be no direction in the header. It was an awkward one, that, for Postiga.
Well, it was an awkward header for Helder Postiga, but it's all about Javi Fuego, who lost possession very, very cheaply. And he just makes amends by tracking Helder Postiga towards the near post. Decent ball in from Luis Garcia.
Movilla. Michu forcing the corner out of Paulo de Silva.
I thought that Michu was a little bit fortunate to get away with that, if I'm perfectly honest, Kevin. I thought he was giving away a free kick, but as it is, gets a corner out of it.
No complaint from de Silva. Michel with a corner. Almost an hour gone. La Romareda, way by Aranda. Casado. Michel with that good left foot of his. Tito back to Movilla. Tito again. Time challenge from Javier Paredes. A little bit of verbals between Diego Costa and the Zaragoza captain. Diego Costa, I mean, you know, he's the instigator there for me. It's a perfectly good challenge from Paredes. Just get on with it. It all stems from that earlier incident, doesn't it?
Well, it all stems from that, but you can see with Sandoval, he's not happy with the whole situation. But that's the difference that Diego Costa will give you, Kevin. Totally different from Rayo in the first half. Just hope the Brazilian doesn't lose his rank completely.
Yeah, unsettle the Zaragoza defence. That's what the coach Sandoval would have wanted, but it has to be controlled aggression. It's going to be a switch here now for Zaragoza. You see Mateos coming on. David Mateos. currently on loan to Zaragoza from Real Madrid. Been absent for most of the past 2 months with a thigh injury. Aponio. Miranda trying to kind of get into the path of Lafita. Poor challenge from Movia. Zaragoza can make their switch now. The aforementioned Mateos coming on to replace Dumovic, who's been playing the anchor role in midfield. Tomislav Dumovic. Mateos looks as though he's going to take up a similar role. Floated in by Paredes. Goalkeeper thought about coming. Crowd getting excited, feeling there might have been a little pull there from Pulido. Here's Diego Costa. First touch for Mateos. Diego Costa. Michu losing out to Aponio. Postiga looking for Aranda. It's only a corner, it might have been more. That was almost perfectly into the stride, the pass from Postiga for Aranda.
Well, it's a great looping cross from that right-hand side from Helder Postiga into the path of Aranda. But the question I have to ask is the hesitancy of the goalkeeper. He's 6'5", the ball has bounced inside his 6-yard box, and he's done really nothing about it. Well, just outside his 6-yard box, that's the time I think he's got to come and collect it. A little bit of positivity, but you saw moments earlier, Kevin, that he delayed coming out to collect the ball. And I just wonder whether the hesitancy is something that he'll regret.
His Rayo Vallecano debut, 21-year-old Joel in goal, on loan from Atletico Madrid. Obradovic rather did his good work there with a poor final ball. It was a positive run though from the left back. Free kick against Paulo da Silva. No lasting damage, it would appear, for just feeling that groin area though, Carlos Aranda. Maybe just overstretched there.
Yeah, you see he's overstretching towards the goal, and that's the reason why Juan Carlos has been limbering up. You can see that he's looking to the bench and saying, need to be substituted. And I would imagine that Juan Carlos will be the person who comes on, will slot onto that left-hand side. Look at his body language, Kevin. He desperately wants to come off Aranda.
Good run here. Oh, it just went too early. There's a tight one against Michel.
Just very tight, isn't it? You can see there that the centre-half is pulling one way and he's going the other. The substitution has been made.
Spot on, David. It is Juan Carlos, €2.5 million buy in the summer from Real Madrid. Played just the one senior game in his time at the Bernabeu. That was back in October 2010. Had 9 minutes as a sub. It Tell his grandchildren he played for the Real Madrid first team.
Were they a good 9 minutes though, Kevin?
He'll tell you that. Here's Diego Costa. Michu looking for Michel. Armenteros. Just got enough on that. Roberto. This is Tito. Good cross. Initial defending from Paulo da Silva, and then Mateos and Lanzaro getting in one another's way. The ball's been put out of play just as Mateos got to his feet.
Well, I think that's the first time that Roberto's had to make a save in earnest, going down to his left-hand side.
This is one of these awkward ones because Zaragoza put the ball out of play, believing that Mateos was going to need some treatment. He just about got upright again when the ball was put out. Rayo Vallecano were trying to play on from the throw-in, but have been forced to concede again.
Well, you can see there's just a lack of communication between Mateos and Lanzaro. Is that incident where Roberto's at full length? I'm not quite sure that the ball would have sneaked inside the far post, but Roberto didn't want to take any chances.
I think that's his first save, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
Had a lot of the ball, as I said earlier, Rayo in the Zaragoza half, but done precious little with it. And they're beginning to grow into the game now. The arrival of Diego Costa, more questions being asked of this. Up until this weekend, a porous Zaragoza defence. Looking for their first win since the middle of October. 13 league games. That man there, Manolo Jimenez, only been in charge of 4 of them. 2 draws, 2 defeats for the former Sevilla coach since he took over from Javier Aguirre. Nice touch under pressure from Diego Costa. He's good at that. With his back to goal, really held the ball up well in by Tito. Michu! Scooped up quite easily in the end by Roberto, but that's the sort of service that Michu and Diego Costa need for the rest of this game.
Well, this time it's a decent cross from that right-hand side from Tito. And there is Michu getting right above Da Silva. Getting a lot on the ball, but unfortunately the ball hits the ground. And it's quite an easy save for Roberto in the end, but you can see straight away that Rayo Vallecano is starting to ramp up the pressure. The ball's going into Diego Costa. He's getting the support quickly enough. You can see now that Michel is the person who's coming into close proximity to the striker. But I keep saying about, harping on about the situation and about allowing the 2 fullbacks down the side because of the situation playing as a diamond in that midfield area. It allows the fullbacks to get into those advanced positions.
Zaragoza have earned a corner by the diligent work of Mauricio Lanzaro. They might just need the insurance of a second goal on the bottom side. Luis Garcia with a corner. Away by Michu. Aponio. Put out well here by Juan Carlos. Skips around Tito. Lovely cutback. Mateos with a drive. And now Aponio. And Ribas with a partial clearance. Further away by Movia. And then by Armenteros. The Argentine has taken it on here. Armenteros. Diego Costa, promising attack here for Rayo Vallecano. Not now, it's just not quite good enough, the pass from Diego Costa for Michel.
Well, I even think that if Michel was 10 years younger, he wouldn't have got that ball. But certainly a good piece of impact play from the other side from Real Zaragoza. with the new player Juan Carlos coming on that left-hand side. They see the path from Diego Costa just a little bit too weighty. But a couple of opportunities at one end, and then straight on the counter-attack with Diego Costa and Armenteros. They had the slight overload situation, but weren't able to capitalise on it.
Temperature in Spain a good deal warmer than they were yesterday. It was just 1 degree at kickoff at the Camp Nou last night for Barcelona's home win over Real Sociedad. And something around 8 degrees at kickoff tonight here. It's been snowing on the island of Mallorca this week. Pulido. Armenteros. Athletic clearance from Lanzaro. Michel. Sandoval seeing his side enjoying a good deal of possession still. No way through yet for Rayo Vallecano. For all their possession, just haven't worked the goalkeeper enough. We've got Spanish football for you to enjoy later. Stick around for a good-looking match. Atletico Madrid against Valencia, 8:30. Sky Sports HD1, and then our Sky Sports Extra online offering Monday night. Granada hosting Malaga. Kick-off at 8 o'clock there. This is Juan Carlos. Granada back into the bottom three after Villarreal's win at Sevilla lifted them out of the relegation zone. Rayo Vallecano just out of the bottom three on goal difference. Zaragoza bottom, and far from one win away from getting off the bottom. 7 points currently behind Sporting Gijón, but they lead. The team in white through Aldo Postiga's wonderful first half volley, goal coming in the 33rd minute. Aponio. Postiga losing out to Arribas. Michel. Nice ball to pick out the advanced fullback Casado. In goes Diego Costa! Brilliant! And the substitute delivers for Rayo Vallecano. Well, not the first good cross that the left-back Casado has put in tonight. This time it reaps dividends. Diego Costa with the equaliser.
Well, I've been saying it for a long time, Kevin, about the situation about Casado down that left-hand side. This time Lanzaro gets himself out all of shape. You can see crosses from an awful long way. He gets the run on Obradovic. He shouldn't be the person coming across. You can see there De Silva has gone out to cover Lanzaro. And it's an exquisite header from Diego Costa. Glances off the right-hand side. Roberto at full stretch is not able to stop that ball nestling in the far corner. But certainly been coming down that left-hand side. But I'd have to ask questions about where the position was on the back four, and especially the right back and the centre-half, Lanzaro and De Silva.
Well, Rayo Vallecano have dug deep into Atletico Madrid's squad, bringing in tonight's goalkeeper Joel, centre-back Pulido, and the striker scoring on his debut, Diego Costa. Armenteros and Lanzaro having more words. Keep an eye on that one.
I think Lanzaro's having words of everyone, Kevin, isn't he?
Free kick's been given against Paulo de Silva.
have no qualms about that. Just used the arm to fend off Diego Costa.
A little slow to see the quickly taken free kick there. Zaragoza away by Lanzaro. Pulido all the way back here to Joel, who was the backup goalkeeper on the bench in the Europa League final and the Copa del Rey final in 2010 behind David De Gea. Third choice with Vicente Calderon behind De Gea and Asenjo. The man in the other goal tonight used to be a keeper with Atletico Madrid. They've produced some tasty goalkeepers in recent years, haven't they?
Certainly a huge abundance of goalkeepers, you're right to say.
There's another one on the bench tonight, Leo Franco for Zaragoza. Postiga looking for the run of Lafita. Casado losing out. Lafita, cleverly done, takes it early. That's a good save from Joel.
Well, it's an excellent save from Joel, going down to his left-hand side, but far too easy for Lafita to get a hold of that ball down to his feet. Puts a little bit of a nutmeg on the new player, Pulido. Good shot, but an excellent save.
Luis Garcia with a corner. Paredes. Well, including tonight, 18 games left of the season. There's a lot of points still to be played for, but when you're on the kind of run that Zaragoza are without a win, as David touched on earlier, it becomes more and more difficult to buy them with any regularity, and that's what they need really to lift them out of the doldrums. As we stand, they're 12 minutes away from making it 14 league games without a win. Just one short they would be of their club record, which has stood for nigh on 60 years. Here's Juan Carlos. Away by Pulido.
Yeah, I think you touched on it as well, Kevin, and you're right to say about the situation regarding Zaragoza. They're going to have to play Champions League football to go and get all these points, because it's going to be a very, very hard end towards the season. We know the financial situation involving Zaragoza. They're over €100 million in debt, and you look at the players that they've got. You've got Roberto, who spent over $8 million for, Luis Garcia, you've got Juan Carlos. You've got players of that distinction, including Helder Postiga. They're not going to be able to hold on to those players if they get relegated.
Rayo Vallecano themselves have got heavy financial issues. And, right on the edge of bankruptcy, coming up from the second division. Times are hard generally around Europe. Spain particularly feeling a high unemployment rate right now.
Well, this morning's game involving Sporting and Osasuna, they were allowing the public in for €10, Kevin. So that tells you about the times that are happening in Spain.
Luis Garcia won't get to that. Also, still a game both sides feel that they could win. This is a shot from Lafita, well repelled by Joel.
Well, it's a good combination play between Helder Postiga and Lafita. I feel that Lafita was very unfortunate. An excellent shot, did well up against Pulido. But Joel was certainly on his toes. Third choice, Sure, Atletico behind Courtois and Asenjo. there's a lot of good goalkeepers as reserve goalkeepers, Kevin. It's not just the number ones, it's the number twos as well who are excellent.
Movia. Lafita. Looking for Juan Carlos. A break here for Postiga. Now Ponyo. Michel. Michu, nice touch. Armenteros. Casado. Can he find another good cross? Excellent cutback. Michu! 2-1 for Rayo Vallecano. The game turned on its head. Brilliant counter-attack. The left-back Casado involved again. 2 assists from him. And it's the top scorer, Michu, that makes it 2-1 for Rayo.
Well, that is an excellent team goal. That all started off with Movia playing the ball into Michel and eventually unleashes the ball into Armenteros. He takes his time, sees the overlapping run of the fullback who's caused an awful amount of problems this evening for Zaragoza. Has a quick look up, but you have to say the run from Michu was absolutely exquisite. He had a quick look, saw the situation where he was going to be unmarked, pulled himself back towards the edge of the 18-yard box and then made strides back towards the ball. Casado picks him out and it's a fabulous finish from the player who scored an awful amount of times. It's a 12th goal of the season. And what a great riposte that is from Rayo Vallecano after going behind.
Turned around in the space of a little over 7 minutes. Zaragoza staring down both barrels of another defeat, taken just 3 points from the last 39 available. Obradovic. Can't argue with the quality, though, of that second Rayo Vallecano goal.
Well, it was a great counter-attack, Kevin, wasn't it? Good play in that midfield area, but as I've been saying for most of the game, the situation involving the Rayo Vallecano left-back Casado. Because of the situation, again playing that diamond, he's caused all sorts of problems.
Here's Diego Costa in the mood to really finish it off here, Rayo. If they hold what they have, Rayo Vallecano are going to climb several places up the table. They'll go above Real Betis, Sociedad and Mallorca. They'll certainly be level on points and maybe goal difference with Mallorca, so that will be a tight issue, but certainly just be below mid-table. Captain Michel coming off, handed the armband to Movia. And the little band of Rayo fans that have made the trip from the capital up to northeast Spain and the Aragon region. Happy with what they're seeing here. Pitti is the player to replace Michel. Had a spell on loan in the 2004-05 season here with Zaragoza.
Well, he would have been one player who would have been disappointed not to have made a start this evening. He's certainly been involved in all the games so far this year in La Liga. He's coupled it with the 3 goals as well. I think he would have been disappointed to have been left out, but give credit where credit's due to Jose Ramon Sandoval. He's picked the side to go and win it. But I think a lot of it has changed since the inclusion of the substitution at half-time with Diego Costa. I think he's had a big impact. He's certainly unsteadied the 2 centre-halves for Zaragoza. But the man of the match for me so far has been Casado, the left-back.
Michu. Lovely pass. Armenteros. Deflection away off Paulo de Silva and out for a corner. Good pace there from Armenteros, and De Silva just happy to get some block on the goal-bound shot.
Well, the thing is now with Rayo, they can pick and choose when to counter-attack and at what sort of pace. You can see there with the corner that's going to come in from that left-hand side, which Pitti will go in swing. Is that they've only got 3 players inside that 18-yard box. Be surprised if any of the centre halves come up at all.
Obradovic with the header away. Tito loses out there to Luis Garcia. Here's Lafita. Can't find a way past either Arribas or Javi Fuego. It's a goal kick for Rayo Vallecano. Now there could be a few people looking at this left back, Casado, who's set up both Rayo Vallecano goals tonight. 25 years old, in his second season with the Madrid-based club. He came on a free from Sevilla. And he's looked quality, certainly going forward.
Again, he's another production from La Masia as well, isn't he?
Yep.
Started as a young lad at Barcelona.
The other match tonight at the Vicente Calderón, just about to get underway, as you see. Atletico Madrid against Valencia. We'll be joining that game as soon as we conclude here. Diego Simeone, former Argentine international, now the head coach of Atletico Madrid, against the Valencia side, currently 3rd in the table and playing their match before their Copa del Rey semi-final second leg at the Camp Nou against Barcelona on Wednesday. 1-1 from the first leg at the Mestalla. We'll have the whole of that Copa del Rey semi-final second leg, Barca-Valencia, on Wednesday night. Preceding that on Tuesday, we'll be up at San Mamés and we'll have the whole of the Copa del Rey semi-final second leg between Athletic Bilbao and Mirandés from the 3rd tier. 2-1 Athletic lead from that first leg. Starter Fernandez has pulled the book out again, showing a yellow card to Juan Carlos.
I'll say it's another great week of Spanish football, isn't it, Kevin? Talk about fairy tales with Mirandés doing extremely well this year. Costa manager his job. Garrido at Villarreal doing extremely well. There's a couple of players in there who I quite like Alan, the centre forward. And obviously we talk about Pablo Infante as well, who scored a host of goals. A bank manager, that's his full-time job.
Well, it's a great story. Only the 2nd club in Spanish history to get to the last 4 of the Cup from the 3rd tier. Problem here for Arribas. Looks in some distress down on the touchline. This is Paulo de Silva in the 90th minute. I think there'd be at least 3, maybe 4 minutes to be added on.
I was going to say they need to get him on the field of play because they made all 3 substitutions as well.
Hobbles back on Arribas.
He's a tough cookie. He'll be all right.
Lafita's header on, and testing that injury straight away, and he felt that Arribas as he cleared. Da Silva. Just can't find a way to win Zaragoza. Juan Carlos. They led at half-time with Postiga's stunning volley. Here's Juan Carlos. Well blocked by Javi Fuego. 3 minutes, a minimum of 3 minutes to be added on. Corner conceded by Armenteros.
Well, that's a wide player on the left-hand side. He did not know what to do with the ball. He's got to get rid of it. Can't be messing around in those sort of areas.
In by Luis Garcia. Oh, Juan Carlos trying something in the variety of spectacular and got it all wrong.
Well, I think he's just got to use the instep of his foot and just volley that ball back into the field of play. You can see there with Manolo Jimenez, he's not particularly happy the way things are going. There's the other manager, Sandoval, who'll be absolutely delighted if it stays the same. The one thing that he'll be looking at as well, he's not had a clean sheet in 11 games now. So that's certainly an area where they have to improve on. But I think the influx of loan players has certainly helped his side, especially on this evening's performance.
Yellow card now for Obradovic. Rayo Vallecano seemingly on the way to victory now. Found the quality they required in the second half. David's observation, few would argue, if any, that Diego Costa has indeed been the difference. That extra support the Brazilian has given to the top scorer, Michu. They've scored a goal apiece. And they're a little over a minute away from their 4th away win in the league this season. 16 points on the road by early February is a very good record for a team fresh from the second division. Costa doing exactly the job that was required.
Well, the only thing I hope he doesn't do, Kevin, is that when he's shielding the play, is to not go and raise his arm into the face of anyone else.
And here he goes again. He's in the corner this time. Real frustration for Zaragoza. They're not going to have time, I don't think, to mount another attack. The Rayo Vallecano corner. This isn't going into the penalty area anytime soon. And it's another defeat for the bottom side, Real Zaragoza. The season doesn't get any better for Manolo Jimenez and the team from the Aragon region. They led at half-time through a goal from Helder Postiga, but goals in the second half from top scorer Michu and substitute Diego Costa. And Rayo Vallecano have a big 3 points. They win here at La Romareda by 2-1.
Well, after no shots on target in the first half, that was much better from Rayo in the second. That win takes them to 12th now. As for Zaragoza,